Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 3 between Hero Marine and Fiant. Now, a lot of you will be going like, whoa, Harstem. Fiant? Well, what is that? Is that a chocolate brand? It's like, that sounds weird. Never heard of that before. It's like, no. Fiant is a Swedish Zerg player. And I know that some of you, for good reasons, might dislike the Swedes, if you're Danish, for example. But a lot of you might have nothing against them, and in that case, I'd like you all to have an open mind about Fiant, okay? Because Fiant is, would I call him my favorite European Zerg player? Probably not. Is he a Zerg player that I would like to watch against high-level players? Yes, because Fiant is what we call a realist, as he tries to attack his own Zerglings, which is usually considered a mistake in most countries. Fiant is someone that looks at a situation and thinks to himself, this is gonna be tough. You know, if Fiant were to get a deal from Netflix, for example, Netflix comes over to Fiant, like, Fiant, do you want to go to the top of Taipei 101? And we'll pay you 50 million, but we're gonna film the whole way. Like they did with the other dude recently, the Alex guy. And Fiant will say, yeah, sure, I'll do it. And he'll just take the freaking elevator because he doesn't know how to climb buildings with his bare hands. He also doesn't have a death wish. So that is kind of Fiant in a nutshell, you know? He'll see a situation and he'll find the simplest solution to a W. So if he's playing against someone that is significantly better than him, he's not going to bother with... It's like, oh, how do I defend Reaper into 2 Hellion the best? No, Fiant is going to think, is there a way for me to get a major advantage in the first 4 minutes of the game? And if the answer to that is yes, then let's freaking go. And that's what we're seeing over here, as he rallies a crap ton of links across the map here in the first 4 minutes here on 10,000 feet. We're going to have 2 Hellions chilling at home, though, for Hero Marine. It's going to be quite frustrating indeed here for Fiant. As, well, these links are still going to do quite a bit of damage. Look at that. 1 Marine went down. I think a 2nd Marine might just end up falling here as well. 6 SCVs end up falling. The returning Hellions are not quite going to get surrounded. And the rest of the links here are going to have a tough time getting the damage in that they want. But honestly, a lot of indirect damage. Mining time lost from the main base. 6 SCVs going down in the natural. Overall, 16 links remain. And 25 have gone down already. Okay, that's actually a fairly significant amount, if I'm being honest. Maybe even a little bit too significant. Maybe even a little bit too significant here. Ay. I mean, still 30 works to 36. It's not the end of the world, but it is going to be triple CC as well here from the Terran side of things. Hero Marine is not going to be very afraid of any type of weird follow-ups either. Like, the moment you see your opponent scout, it usually indicates that they're not wanting to all in anymore. Like, if 12 roaches were moving across the map, I'm not entirely sure if Fiant would really care, you know, what the timing is of the stim. It's like it's just not so relevant to his experience in that moment. You know, it's actually not so relevant at all. It's a bit as if you're stuck on Mount Everest. You already lost like 5 people in your party. You're trying to get home. You know, like the moment you get internet, like with your satellite phone, you're not gonna Google like what the Knicks did in their last game. Like, you're probably gonna figure out if there's a way for you to get down without freaking dying. And that's the same in StarCraft 2, right? The moment you see an Overlord coming in, like, or you're doing a roach rush, you're not gonna scout. Like, you're focusing on what the hell your roaches are doing. You don't give a crap. Sometimes you'll send an Overlord to try and bait, maybe. But that would be, a different move. And that's not what was happening here either. So, a bit of a backstory. Like, inside of the mind of a professional, you know? Well, you might be confused there what to do when I get stuck on Mount Everest, and now you freaking know. Love to hear it. You learn a bit. I do wonder how many people I've already saved over the years, you know, with this type of advice. And also curious how many more people I'm going to save in the future now that I've got my first aid certificate. I've actually never been in a situation before where I had to, give help to someone, like perform like CPR or something. But if that situation ever occurs, I'll be there for it. With my certificate. Oh, I'm gonna get some of these drones maybe to use some freaking CPR. Need some treatment for these freaking burn wounds. Holy crap. 5 Hellions go in, 8 drones visit Satan himself down in the underworld. Best regards, Hero Marine. Unbelievable. Overlord is going to stay alive. This is not a very good game for Fjand, I have to admit. I am not a huge fan of how this has played out so far. Felt like his initial Link Flood could have done, you know, some more damage, could have dealt a bit more damage. Sadly, it didn't. Overlord's gonna get smacked down here as well. Creep tumors being targeted too. What are these two queens doing? Having the time of their life. Queen in the main here as well. Yeah, at least you can smack a little bit against these drops. Although Ling Bane does need to be in position. I think this queen is just going to end up dying. Yeah, this is really frustrating. I'd love to see just a spore on the edge. Like a spore here, a spore here. It just helps so much against this type of abuse. Because that's really what it is. It really does feel like a Hero Marine is just kind of abusing Fjand here. It's really disgusting. Okay, queens are now going to show up and we'll start... oh, there you go. It's a -1 medevac. It's actually good. That was good. Worker count though still freaking pathetic here on Fjand's end. Also terrible creep threat. Like just doesn't have a whole lot of tumors out on the map right now. Muscular Augments has just started. Second factory here. Over at the third base. This is not necessarily looking very good. I wouldn't mind seeing just a straight up like a counter attack. He has a couple of Banelings defensively. I think that's actually what he's doing. I was thinking initially it might just be for a flank, but this doesn't feel like it's going to be for a flank. This feels much more like it's going to be for a full-on counterattack here into this base. Is Fjand going to commit into this? No, he's not. Does not want to run forward with those Banelings that he had. CC is going to take some damage. It won't end up dying. Links need to move towards the right side as our upgrades are about to finish up. Someone just invited me into a party. That was that sound, if you were wondering. Probably should have put myself on busy before casting this game. You hate to see it. A couple more tumors here are going to get taken out. I mean, Hero Marine just in a comfortable position here. It's definitely what we could call it, you see. Ooh. Tank's going to go down. Little Links are struggling a little bit with the surround on that, not going to lie. Double medevac heading into the main. This is why I really would have loved to see that spore here. Like, I wasn't joking about that. Like, it is so freaking annoying to have to maneuver around the spore at all times. It makes it, like, you can kind of force where the medevac needs to go. If you build a spore here, have a spore here, like, this is the only unloading area. So, you don't know where your opponent is going to go if they have their units. And it's much harder to retreat as well. If they go too deep with Marines, they might need to fly out over the spore and could end up losing a medevac or so. Fjand actually did manage to get to 163 supply. I'm not saying he has a decent chance of winning this game, because that would be lying. Oh, this is a terrible fight. Oh no, Fjand. Did you just lose like 30 supply here? Killed at least a little bit. Like, I think one tank went down. But this was really freaking bad. He wanted to get a surround on those Marines, but instead he didn't get the surround on the Marines. It's always unfortunate when that happens. Like trying to catch an eel, which I've heard is very difficult. I haven't tried it before, because they're slippery. I also thought eels were electric. Or maybe there's like a specific eel that is like the electric eel or something. I feel also like there was a Pokemon that was an eel and that was electric. I'm not sure if you could do the self-explode though. I feel like only Voltorb could do that. Again, I'm a Pokemon master. I like S-Ketchum from Pallet Town. A couple of mines actually hitting big time. 2-2 is about to finish up as well. I mean, this is just looking bad. Like, this is just not looking good. I'm not necessarily saying this is over, but we are going to need a small miracle here for Fjand, and oh, well, that was the opposite of a small miracle. That's fairly disastrous. That was legitimately like 15 Banelings with a single mine shot. Always painful when that happens. Don't you freaking hate it? Just walking around as a Baneling and get blasted in the face by a Widow Mine. Personally, I do. I think this base is tells now as well, right? Like, you're never going to be here in time with the rest of your Banes, or you even have a Lurker and no Lurker. Like, we're just now getting an Infestation Pit. It felt to me like Fjand really wanted to do a Hydra Link Bane all-in, but he was kind of forced into doing it defensively, because otherwise he would die. It's not a great look if you have to defensively all-in to hold someone that is, you know, is going to be on 5 bases soon. Like, this is not really the setup you wanna you have as your launching pad. Oh, 4 mines just get taken out for free. It's a little bit frustrating there for Hero Marine. Ideally would have liked to keep those alive. Usually when I'm given the choice between keeping 4 units alive and not killing anything, or letting them die and not killing anything. I'll always keep them, you know, keep them alive option. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm the odd one out here, the odd duck in the pond, so to say. Yeah, Hero Marine once again moving forward. It's gonna snipe most of these Banes. This was decent enough micro. A couple more Banes rolling in. Not gonna get a pickup. Not really gonna get a major move back either. I mean, Hero Marine is just... he's just kind of winning this game, if I'm being real honest. We're gonna get... Ooh! Actually, quite a few Banelings now getting in here. But that's gonna get pushed back. The problem is just that there's so much more where that came from. And there's no real comeback potential. Like, if we saw, like, 35 lurkers and there was a potential of at some point doing a counter-attack, I'd say, wow, that's great. But, like, our hive is about to finish up. I think we have a lurker then, but no seismic spines. No +3 carapace on the way. Like, there's just... so much needs to happen for Fjand to get back into this game against a player who should be considerably better than him in the late game as well. So it's like... this is not at all the thought that Fjand had when he started up this series today, you know? He wasn't feeling this. I think Hero Marine is just going to pick up this game, to be honest. I don't entirely see how this army is... well, this army can still get pushed back by Hydra Ling, but I feel like the next, like, 16 Marines that are going to show up, I'm not entirely seeing. We have more mines moving across. We have 2, 3, 4 Infinito command centers being added in. Ghost now being sprinkled into the mix as well as our first lurker is going to get built. I think this base once more will just fall, and then, I mean, from here on out, Fjand is probably going to need to see if his F10 key on his keyboard still functions, because there's just not a whole lot more to do. I'm honestly impressed by how long he's managed to stay in, or maybe I'm unimpressed by Hero Marine's way of finishing this game. Either way, though, this is completely over. It's actually completely over. Fjand is so far down right now. So far down. As more CCs are being added into the mix. +3 lurkers are coming out as well. This is just not looking good. What do you have? 8 barracks. Marines, medevacs, Ghost. 4 more command centers. I wouldn't mind seeing some snipes onto those Hydras, or even onto Banes. No, onto Banes is a little bit silly, but specifically onto the Hydras, like, this is just over. Like, this army is practically unbeatable, especially without seismic spines. 3-3 upgrade against 2-2. Link flank is gonna maybe try and deal some damage. Nice attempt at a mind drag. But that's gonna be it. GG gets called. Hero Marine will win game number 1 as Fjand is forced to tap out. For sure, a tough early game for Fjand, but perhaps an early game as well that can be forgotten quickly by sending our first worker, or one of our first workers, across the map. This is going to be some type of a proxy hatch, and this is the type of build that I have seen before out of Fjand as well. He actually, initially when he started winning, was with a Spine Rush in ZVP. He beat Gerald in a tournament, I want to say, which was a pretty major upset. He took maps of other people as well, and a lot of that off the back of these types of builds, like these proxy hatches. I'm curious to see where this is going to go exactly. As it gets this hatch down, I do wonder what happens if you're trying to proxy Rex and there's just like a double, like there's like a depot plus barracks downstairs already, like a kind of like a 2 Rex Reaper type of vibe. I don't feel like that would be very good for the Zerg player, because if it gets scouted instantly, in my mind it wouldn't be great, but I don't know. I'm not an expert in this situation. Follow-up is going to be gas pool. I think this was 18 gas, 17 pool, which would be a very standard kind of follow-up if this was a hatch first, which technically it is. It's just being built on the wrong side of the map. Is this out of range, by the way? Like, if you're scouting, imagine the worker scouts like this. Is this out of range? Is that why it's slightly off center? It feels like it would barely be out of range, no? Like maybe the SCV moves like this. Maybe it sees it actually. It's hard to say. I'm not 100% here. I think it would see it. That would be my general guess. Okay, so Hero Marine has scouted this. Decides to, rather than going for a Reaper, goes for a Marine. We're going to go for a scout across the map as well with an SCV, just to get a confirmation, I guess, like a confirmation read as to what the hell this is. Queen starts here in the, I guess, in Fjand's natural. There is a third hatch on the way instantly as well. And a CC in the main base for Hero Marine. The real question, of course, is going to be what the hell are these links or these larvae going to do? I feel like it should be links, and you probably want to kind of time them out together with your queen, which is exactly what's happening. So then everything pops at once. There might even be like units coming from the main base at some point as well. Now, I actually have drones coming from the main. Okay, so this feels almost fake. Okay, SCV's being pulled down. 8 links now on the way. Okay, he's gonna just straight up go for these marines, which is going to be kind of successful here. Queen continues fighting against the SCVs. Would love to see the queen help here against the marines as well. It's not quite what happened. Queen is going to continue moving away a little bit. Circling speed is, what, 70, 75% done maybe? Maybe gonna try to get a creep tumor in. No, it's not quite gonna get it. We'll continue attacking these marines though as... Oh, hero marines up 1-0 by the way. There you go. Yeah, it's a weird situation. Very odd situation. Like the CC in the main base isn't quite done. The starport is on the way. So I guess Banshees are going to be coming in relatively soon. Metabolic boost is really close to finishing up here, which I think is going to be an extremely big deal. Queen is now going to pop out as well. And probably going to go for a creep tumor here, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I would feel is like a very reasonable response all around. Yeah, creep tumor. Absolutely. It's going to be a medevac. So Marine, Hellion. I wouldn't even mind an armory either, by the way, to get some Hellbats going. I feel like that would be a pretty sick move as the surround comes in. This time all the Hellions were surrounded. Accidentally lets them slip by though. It's gonna try to go for another surround over here. Catches one of these Hellions. Had all of them in his grasp, but let them escape. Still going to continue chasing this as a bunch of SCVs are going to end up falling. At the same time, the ramp still hasn't been secured either. As more and more links now moving across. 12 more links on the way as well. Behind all of this, links try to connect here with this Hellion. Do get one more Hellion. Worker count is 18 to 23, but really almost zero mining at the moment here for Hero Marine. Which I think is the main issue. We do have a full wall. Hellion probably should get repaired by more than just 2 SCVs, I'd reckon. Reactor also taking some very serious damage here right now. The SCVs are being pulled off the line. First 2 Marines coming out soon. Oh, he's continue repairing this. This is so important. He's just not continuing to repair this. Depot also in some trouble. I think the problem here is actually that there's not enough money to continuously repair. At least that's what it kind of feels like. 2 Queens now targeting down these Marines as well. Not just targeting down the SCVs anymore. Depot on the top side here is going to end up falling as the Hellion tried to go for the Queen. Did succeed in getting the Queen, but also succeeded in dying. And did not succeed in keeping this topside Depot alive. GG gets called as the Proxy hatch here. Going to win game number 2 for Fjand in this best of 3. Game 3 is going to be played here on Old Republic. Now, Old Republic is a map that... oh, never mind. I don't care, actually. Look at this. We're going to do the same thing, or at least a very similar thing here. It's going to be... This is a very late hatch, though, isn't it? 17? Is he going to build it further down? I was thinking about this. Like, what if you build it, like, all the way over here? Or even, like, in this general area? Like, is your goal really to stop this? Like, I feel like that it doesn't matter where the hatchery is, personally, but I could be wrong. As long as it's close enough that a single tumor could block the CC from landing, like everything else remains pretty much the same. So why wouldn't you, like the hatch down here would be much harder to scout, obviously, and thus the response would be later. Whatever the right response is, like. Right now, all we know is that Hero Marine doesn't have the right response. That's the only thing that we know for certain. He scouts this last game, cancelled Reaper, went straight Marine into Factory. Let's see if this time there's going to be a slightly different response. It's moving out with this SCV. Okay, still going to go for an SCV scout? No. But what is this for? A bunker? Why would the bunker be this far down? I'd say that you put the bunker over here, no? Or maybe the bunker is intended to attack whatever comes out here. You can maybe try and trap some of the units, because the larva spawn on the bottom side. I hadn't thought of that. That's a kind of cute play if that ends up working out. Okay, we instantly get a set of links that is being constructed. Second Marine pops out here as well. I mean, this bunker is guaranteed to finish up. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. And it's going to be pretty serious damage as well, like on these links. Look at that. Links are actually taking a lot of damage here. Oh, some Marine's going to fall, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, Marine goes down, or at least, yep, will go down. Factory is done. Quite a bit of mining time lost here as well on those SCVs. This link is going to stay alive for now. Queen pops out. Can at least throw down a tumor. I'm not sure if you want that though. I was thinking, what if you want like a transfuse or something? So you can transfuse this thing in a little bit from now. More links on the way. We have a couple of links also being built from the main base. Speed is getting closer and closer to finishing up. The Queen's gonna start pounding on this depot. Hellion's gonna show up to at least deal with these links. Not the fastest control here out of Fjand as he ends up losing 1 link and 3 links deep in the red. I don't know what he just killed. I think it was an SCV. He's gonna go for it. Look at that. Could have definitely constructed a second Queen here, by the way. If y'all are wondering. Definitely could have been out here. So ideally this hatch doesn't die. But even if it dies, like you still have the creep there. So it's not like the end of the world. As we're going to go for the SCVs right now. 2 SCVs are going to end up falling. I think this bunker is toast as well. Queen not under heavy fire. Now it's going to get targeted down. Hellion could die here. Is going to die. Like this, okay, this Hellion is freaking toast. No, actually it doesn't matter. It's just going to go straight into the main base. This is game again. Oh no, Hero Marine. Twice in a row now. Straight up just dying here to this proxy hatch. As the links enter the main base and the SCVs are being taken out. 11 SCVs dying. 12 SCVs dying. 13 SCVs dying. So you got a little bit too excited there. 10 more links on the way. I think this is some overkill because at this point the link time is over. It's drone time right now, yeah. We're seeing these three drones being added in. Look at this. There's not even a starport yet. 15 workers to 24. We're getting our second Queen out already. The moment Overlords pop out, like life is going to be freaking buzzing. Like legitimately so good. 18 links still around as well. Really needs to be careful though. Because it's obvious that right now Fjand is kind of getting like... He should not be getting baited here by this, by like these Marines. Trying to clear those. I do believe this is going to barely survive. Yeah, there we go. A couple more links going down. That's already 6 links that went down. Would have been nice to keep them. Going into very heavy gas count. Not a fan of that. I feel like whenever you have such a big lead, just taking a fast third base and then still getting a relatively quick lair on a single gas is definitely something you can do. Because it kind of feels like you're throwing away your eco lead if you're working so heavily with gas. You're still going to need to get defensive units out. And you know most likely your opponent's going to go for some type of drop. Maybe with like 1 or 2 Hellions. Maybe with a Cyclone as well. Like it's... This is going to be so freaking tough, honestly. This actually is going to be tough as hell. Yeah, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Bailing Nest. A little bit over halfway done. And this can only really go into one thing. It's going to be a Spire. Maybe natural over here. It could be like, yeah, I mean, it could be anything, but it usually is Spire. Like fast 4 gas like this. Low Queen count as well. Like, this doesn't look very good if you ask me. So Hero Marine is going for some Overlord hunting right now. Yeah, Spire indeed starts. It's going to be Benji behind this, 3rd CC as well. Hero Marine desperately wants to get into some decent eco, and I feel like Fjand kind of gave him that opportunity as well here. Like, there's no early game aggression whatsoever. There's like no... You could have also gone for a Roach follow-up, like Ravager Ling here. Like, hell yeah, that would have worked, probably. Like, there's just going to be a single Banshee at some point. Everything else is going to die to Biles. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that necessarily. They were like just completely sitting back and then playing something that's so low eco still. It feels like you're giving your opponent a lot of time. Second factory now coming in. So it's going to be Mech. Which I guess it makes some sense. It feels like a fairly decent call even. Hero Marine also scouts the lateness on the 3rd hack. I don't know if he knows what it means. So far I think is fairly unaware as to what is going on. Okay, he's gonna scout the Spire right now here. That is so nice for Hero Marine actually. This was a fully committed scout as well. This wasn't like, oh, let me see if I can deal some damage. No, it was a, let's see if I can scout what the hell my opponent is doing. And he's gonna pay with a medevac for it, as well as these 2 units in it. But he gets the read. Can start Viking production. It's going to get Cyclone here as well. eBay goes down instantly. So a full response pretty much. Because he was playing double Cloak Banshee. So if that scout wouldn't have happened, I actually think this would have just straight up worked. I actually think it would have just straight up worked. These links are trying to run in. I do hope that we're going to... Yeah, he's building a lot of links with this. Okay, he wants to just actually kill his opponent with pure Ling Mura. I wouldn't have minded if this was like Muta, but instead of the 27 links, we had 13 more drones. Because then all of a sudden you're really far up in eco as well. And it's kind of fine. And it's not like these links are going to achieve a whole lot against the 2-base Terran in my mind. But maybe I'm wrong on that. Double factory pumping Cyclones. And then we have the Starport pumping Vikings right now. It is just one of the oddest setups that I've seen in a while. Okay, Viking comes in. Like, this is so ridiculously anti-Muta. You never could have gone for this setup if you don't fully scout it. Because this is not a this is not a composition. You know, you can play Viking, Heli, and Cyclone Banshee. It just doesn't exist. Well, you can do it. It just probably wouldn't work. Phoenix now rolling further forward. Hellion comes in. A little bit out of position as... this is an awkward battle, honestly. Turret is helping out massively. His Cyclones are really low. Tank is going to get targeted down here as well. I feel like the worker count for Fjand is just ridiculously low. Like, if this was being done of 75 workers, 4 base, soon to be 8 gas, I'd say, hell yeah, baby. Let's go. But this is practically a 0-0 Muta-Ling Bane all-in. Without a whole lot of Banelings, without a whole lot of Mutas, and with a very crappy drone count to boot. So, to me, it feels like Hero Marine kind of has survived the hardest stage, which was coming back from the severe deficit that he put himself in after the early game. So yeah, I don't know. Not a fan of this, personally. Then again, I'm not a fan of a lot of things. Like, this is what I would have wanted to see before. Like, Muta, all your gas into Muta, all your leftover minerals into drones, all your leftover gas into Muta, everything else into drone. Like, these links, it feels like it makes this so much more all in. Like, how many links has he lost so far? 67? 27 more links on the map. Like, I don't think it would have been a crazy thing to have this exact same situation, except there would be 85 drones here right now. And we'd actually be on 5 bases already. Like, that would be completely possible. And even now, like, Fjand is still way up in supply. Yes, he still needs to add Evo chambers. And yes, he's playing Mass Muta against someone playing mech that is, like, about 800 MMR higher than him. But, like, this situation isn't all that bad. Like, this game could go for a while, for sure. And if at any point Fjand manages to break an area, like, he could just actually straight up win the game. Like, he has 21 Mutas. There's only 9 Cyclones. If he gets like 1 or 2, like if he gets a jump on 2 of these Cyclones, or he snipes like a turret and you get like 10 workers here, like that is a huge freaking deal. That is such a big deal. So Infestation Pit is being added in right now. Like this is what I mean. Like just these constant drone add-ins. That is really what you want. And you can continue to grow your Muta count during all of it as well. So yeah, it sucks, but I guess it is what it is. Fjand's now going to come here from the bottom side. Actually could have committed there, I think. It's scary because he doesn't know that... Well, he should know that there's no Macfield Accelerator. But still. Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know. I feel like you really just want to be a bit more active with these Mutas. If you're getting this many. 1 refinery being taken out. I think all of these turrets can be targeted as well if he really wants to. He's taking his sweet time right now. Sensor towers are going to come out. And that is actually going to make life significantly harder. Like pre-sensor tower, I'm seeing a lot of opportunities to fly in. Post-sensor tower, like that is a tough era to be functioning in, you know. Gonna probably get a sensor tower over here as well. It's just a couple more missile turrets. Hero Marine is considering maybe moving out onto the map right now, as he has 13 Cyclones against the 25 Mutas. Plus 2 air weapons coming in as well here. For the Muta man. 2 mines. Like, to me, personally, and that might just be me, but to me personally, it feels like Fjand is still somewhat in control. Like, if he flies into the main right now, for example, like, that would be such a sick move. It's just turrets. It's just turrets. Like, turrets cannot chase you. Cyclones can. And they're the scary ones, but the turrets, like, they're freaking static. Like, you fly in here, you kill, like, turret, you fly to the top, Like turret, 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 boom. You're gonna kill a lot of them. Maybe you lose 2 mutas or so, but you create so much space. And now you're gonna end up losing 5 mutas. Oh, Lings are gonna come in. This is not well synchronized though. The mutas are just now flying in. Cyclones are being pushed back a bit. Bailing flank comes in as well. Lots of these Cyclones are being taken out. But overall the supply looking better and better for Hero Marine here. Better than it ever has in this game before. And despite the ultras coming in, I'm starting to have a pretty difficult time seeing how Fjand is going to manage this. Because this is looking freaking tough. This actually is starting to look freaking tough. Oh, Mutas here once again being miscontrolled. As 2 more will end up going down. How many have gone down already? 28 Mutas have fallen so far in this game, which is obviously a very significant amount. Cyclones moving further forward here too. A good lock on. This base is going to be taken out. I mean, at this point, Fjand is being reset back down to, what is it, like 3 bases. Hero Marine's already moving over to a 5th. Like, even if he ends up losing this entire army, which I find hard to imagine, like, it's not going to be a complete sweep at least. Like, maybe he loses this army, but then he's also going to kill some stuff. Like, Cyclones are just too good to trade out against nothing. Like, they can't do that. They always trade out against something. So ultras are popping out right now, and like it really was the only solution, I think. Like if you get some fungals and you play Ling Ultra, like Ling Ultra Baneling, maybe you get like a surround on this army and you can kill 1 or 2 bases. But I mean, now that the ultras have been shown already, and I think the supply count, personally, I think the supply count is just a little bit too high. Like what are we at? How many tech labs? Do we just have 5 tech labs? 5 tech labs, 3 reactors, I guess, or 2 reactors. Here on the factories. 1 reactor on the starport. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough freaking battle. Nice split out of Hero Marine. Wants to make sure that he can, you know, go to each side independently from the other. Always feels like Cyclone is the best when split up. Kind of like Bio. Doesn't feel like Mech should be good at splitting up, but when it comes to Battle Mech, it's actually rare, you know, fairly powerful. Do appreciate that Fjand is still trying, and I really do believe that Infestor Ultra is the only solution to his problem, but I also feel like this problem might have gotten a bit too big. I can't imagine a single fight really turning this around, but maybe I'm the idiot here. 3 more factories coming in, which is just what you want to do. Add more production into the mix as you grow your bank. There's a bigger gas bank already. He just needs to work a little bit on his minerals, as I mean, this army is going to get stopped from the surround. This is only half the force, by the way, and I think that should embolden Hero Marine a little bit as well. Like seeing something like that, like an attempt on your army, which you can assume is the entire army of your opponent. Fjand now going to fly into these Cyclones as well. Once more is going to lose a bunch of Mutas. As pretty much all of them are going to actually end up going down -3. So that's a total of 39 Mutas that have died this game, and only 21 SCVs. Like that is a bad ratio of Muta to SCV dying. It's not a type of ratio a Zerg player usually would like to have. These fungal boys also a little bit out in the open. Let's see, can I catch something here? Ooh, 1 fungal doesn't actually connect with a whole lot. And every single infestor is going to get taken out here by the Cyclones. Such an awkward battle this is going to be right now. It looked so good if you could like hit 1 or 2 fungals. I'd almost start to believe. But without fungals, like, you're just a sitting duck. You cannot chase these Cyclones. You're just not fast enough. And Hero Marine knows it. Fjand knows it as well. We're going to get a flank here. A couple of Banelings are being morphed in as well. Forward base once more is going to end up going down as more Infestors are being added into the mix. But I feel like 4 ultras have died before, honestly, Hero Marine has lost anything. I think Hero Marine lost like a Hellion or something, or like 2 Hellbats. Killed 3 ultras already. A base. A bunch of Lings. Bunch of Banes. And we're just going to go once more. Like, he just has so much freaking crap. Hellbats is like the 3rd layer here in this army now, being moved further forward. It's not really what you want to be using your fungals or your banelings on, but sometimes in life, you know, you have to just take some hits for the greater good. Cyclone count is still phenomenal. More drones going down, and I mean, we're gonna go for another flank with Hellbats in the back, and yeah, I don't know. This doesn't seem to be it. It was a nice attempt. I actually think that Fjand was really far ahead after the early game, and then I didn't love his 2-base Spire follow-up, and I didn't like how he executed it either, so, you know, two big minus points there, but the strategically early game felt very good, and Hero Marine definitely struggled, but in the end, it's going to be a little bit too strong as he takes this series with a 2-1 score. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and see you all next time for a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.